Hello there, welcome to our live stream today. This is Queenie Tan from Sichuan International Communication Center, or abbreviated SICC. What you're watching right now is a live stream show of Why China. SICC is a professional international communication group from the hometown giant pandas, southwest China's Sichuan province, to share Sichuan stories with the world. We have our special guests Tracy and Darren with us today, and they come from some of the Asian Association of Southeast Asian Nations countries. So hi Tracy and Darren, could you please introduce yourself to our audience? You can go first.
Okay. Hello everyone, my name is Darren and I'm from Indonesia and I'm in China to study. I am a Chengdu University student and right now I'm studying movie.
Movie major.
Okay, hi, I'm Tracy, I'm from Vietnam and I'm from the Chengdu University. Yeah, my major now is design, communication design.
So first of all, I have some questions for you guys to get to know more about you. So first, how long have you been in China? And are you guys students? And then what are you studying right now besides your major?
I came to China at March, 29 March. So I think almost around 4 months until now.
Oh, just 4 months in
almost
China.
4 months,
Oh,
yeah.
wow. And you, Tracy?
Yeah, even when I'm the third year student, but I'm just came here like 3 months or so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you both just came here this year, right?
Yeah.
So about China, I have just another question. Scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your knowledge of China, with 1 being known nothing at all and then 10 being known pretty well? So how would you rate yourself?
Me, I think 4 or maybe 5 because I'm still new here. Yeah, and also I didn't do some research before I came here. So
But
yeah.
have you at least explored some of the food,
Yeah.
for some music?
Yeah, explore some of the food, especially Sichuan pepper.
Oh,
Yeah,
Sichuan pepper, very hot,
Yeah,
and spicy.
Tumpang chicken.
Oh,
chicken.
yeah.
And also I already went to a few places in Chengdu.
For example,
Yeah,
the giant panda base.
Oh, not yet.
Not yet?
Kuli,
Oh, Thai
and then
kuli,
the
okay.
Tofu chapa.
Mm-hmm,
And then also there's Jinsha Site Museum.
But have you traveled to Sanxingdui Museum? No, not yet. Okay.
I traveled to Meishan.
Oh, Meishan City. So you visit Sudongpo, Sansuci.
No. I visit Meishan City because I had to perform there for a cultural exchange.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, great. And then how about you, Tracy?
For me, I don't know, I'm not that confident. I think maybe 4.
4 or 5-ish?
Yeah, no, not like 5.
4.
because this is for China, and what all the thing I know is just around Sichuan.
So
I
maybe
think
just
3,
like
4.
Yeah, maybe just the western part of China. For example, Sichuan, and then maybe Guangxi, and then Yunnan, that kind of areas.
Yeah,
Have you
not that
any
much
about them?
I don't have that much information about their place.
Okay. So got it. I don't know if you guys know that today we've come here together to have this lovely talk. It's because of the Western China International Fair. And I don't know if you guys know this fair, to be very specific. And in case you don't know much about it, before I start, a little brief background of our live stream. It is a special warm-up for the upcoming 19th Western China International Fair, which will be held from June 29 to July 3rd in Chengdu, southwest China, Sichuan province. And the main exhibition hall has set up 6 themed pavilions and 4 professional pavilions covering over 10,000 high-quality products in industries such as cultural tourism, food and beverage, handicrafts, agricultural products, digital technology, crafts, and cultural and creative products. And this year's guest of honor is Thailand. And besides Thailand, as we know, there are also many friends come from other countries such as Indonesia or even your country is lost. Yeah. So it is not only a vital platform for investment promotion, trade cooperation, and diplomatic services, but also a rare opportunity to showcase ethnic and folk culture of the China's Western region and the Asian countries. Now back to our live stream title, Why China? And why China? To those who have watched our live stream yesterday, you might know that it is a new column about China's economy, science, technology, and innovation. You might know our name, but you probably know little about our stories. And this is the time for us to unveil the real China. And now here comes a very little brief trailer of our Why China column.
There are always questions about me. My continuous and thriving life, my splendid cultural heritage, my way of living harmoniously yet differently, my surging present and future. There are so many voices about me. In the face of unknown, curiosity and fear coexist.
Was that the Chinese debt trap?
In the face of the others, acceptance and hesitation coexist.
It's very unfortunate for CNN.
The world is already familiar with my name. The world is still unfamiliar with my story. Now, I want to answer the world. Why China?
Okay, so in 2000, China kickstarted the Western Region Development Strategy, or the Great Western Development Strategy, to balance East-West regional development, especially through infrastructure improvement. In Sichuan, we've developed the Sichuan New International Land-Sea Trade Corridor that heads southward and arrives at Yunnan ports or Guangxi ports, and transports to the Asian countries by rail sea intermodal transportation. The development plan also covers many other aspects, such as cultural exchange, economic growth through trade, ecosystem, and protection. So, Tracy and Darren, based on your knowledge, what would you be most interested in areas, like, for example, the Western development, based on your major of study?
Oh, you go first.
So, for example, design, what do you want to know more about? For example, the development of maybe Sichuan or Chengdu?
What I want to know more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for Sichuan, I heard about a lot of traditional thing, and I think the more thing I'm interested in is the traditional thing here.
So maybe the traditional culture,
Yeah,
like for example, the costumes or
Yeah.
the clothes,
traditional
and then
clothes.
maybe the music, which can
Yeah,
help your
yeah.
design, right?
Yeah.
And then how about you, Darren?
And about me, I'm very interested with Chinese movies because
Mhm,
we already know about Hollywood movies, right? Hollywood movies are all very famous.
mhm.
But in Indonesia, the Chinese movies is not very famous. So I want to came here to know about Chinese movies because I think China can also make very good movies. Like for example, Karate Kid, Jackie Chan. Right? And
Yeah,
also
very
Dragon
famous
Maid,
person.
The Great Wall China. And also I watched China romantic series. Yeah, like something like that. And I believe that China can also make very good movies, but I'm just curious why it's not as famous as the Hollywood movies. Yeah.
So maybe that's also part of the culture that related to movies, films.
Yeah.
And maybe when we talk about before, the Western development also includes infrastructure development. So maybe how you build, for example, like the trains, the railway trains, and then maybe the metro stations. That can also be elements in your film study.
Yeah.
Because when you trying to take films, you have to know more about the people here, and then that will include all aspects of life.
Yeah.
Right. And yes, today we're very honored to invite also a guest from one of the provinces in Western China, Guangxi Zhuang Autonomous Region, which is also one of our dependable partners. We have Mark from Guangxi Radio and Television joining us. Hello, Mark.
Hello, Queenie. Thank you, Queenie. And greeting from Nanning, Guangxi. Indeed, you just mentioned the Western China International Fair. It is a very important platform for the world to understand China. And I believe this year's fair will continue to be interesting, fun, and interesting and successful as usual. And by the way, my name is Mark from Guangxi Radio and Television. Very happy to have this opportunity to discuss with you all about Guangxi and about the development of Western China.
So Mark, first of all, since the guests we have here, they know actual little about Guangxi. So can you tell us a little bit more about Guangxi and why it's important when it comes to the development of Western China?
Of course. We know that China and ASEAN have already been each other's largest trading partner for 3 consecutive years. And Guangxi is the only provincial region in China that shares borders with ASEAN countries and at the same time has open seaport facilities. So there's no doubt that Guangxi has a unique geographical advantage and plays an important role in promoting trade between China and ASEAN countries. But before we dig into that, now let's watch a video clip that can help us better understand Guangxi.
So, without further ado, let's move on to the first part and also the most exciting part of our live stream. So, culture is a general term that encompasses many aspects of our lives. For we live in a shared community in this world, cultural collusion, integration, homogenization, diffusion, we embrace every possible forms of culture. And then, how about the different cultures of Guangxi and Sichuan? And what could be the similarities with the cultures of the Asian countries? So, I have a few questions for our Guangxi friend Mark. First of all, as we know all about Chinese, especially Sichuanese people, are so into spicy food. And so are people from Guangxi Zhuang Autonomous Region, especially in the Northwest region. Why? And what's special about the spicy food in Guangxi?
Yes, as you just mentioned, people in northwest part of Guangxi can easily handle spicy food, which is probably because Guangxi borders Hunan and Guizhou province to the north, thus developing similar eating habits. And as we know, both people in Guizhou and Hunan province can really take spicy food. But in fact, people in other parts of Guangxi can also like eating spicy food. I think these might be have something to do with the climate of Guangxi. Guangxi belongs to the subtropical monsoon climate, and the summer here is quite hot and humid. So people like to eat spicy food to work up their appetite, which chili really does. And apart from spicy flavor, Guangxi food also comes with sour taste, such as Guangxi lemon duck and the lo si fen. I bet you all know that the river snail rice noodles, which all taste sour and spicy. So I think it is really a little bit different from the Sichuan cuisine, which often tastes spicy and tongue numbing. Really.
So I don't know if my
Mm.
guests here they all know Lucifen. So do you know Darren?
No, I don't know what.
Oh wow, we've got one person here who don't know about Lucifen. And then how about Tracy?
I know that before.
But have you tried some before?
The lucifer I ate it from here from our school in the canteen. But if about Guangxi, I know about Liuzhou lucifer, but I never tried before. It's piety, but yeah.
So as Mark introduced before, the reason why people here in Sichuan and also Guangxi love spicy food is because of the climate. I don't know if it's the same thing for you guys, because you guys are from countries that are also around the tropical areas, right? So I just wondered, do you guys prefer spicy food, and have you tried any before, maybe in your hometown?
Oh, I prefer. So in Indonesia, everything is very spicy. The food.
Oh, everything?
Yeah,
Wow.
not everything, but a lot of food are very spicy. So yeah, of course, I already eat spicy food before, but when I came to China, I also ate a lot of spicy food, Sichuan pepper, right? But I think the spicy taste is different. It's not the
It's
same.
different? Oh,
Yeah.
in what ways?
In Indonesia, I think it's more spicier. It's more
Spicier?
spicier. Yeah.
Wow,
when
I want
came
to
here-
challenge that.
So when
Really?
yeah. So when I came here, I think Sichuan pepper is not spicy at all, but it has
Not at all? Wow.
yeah, not spicy. But it has a very unique taste that I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's at first it tastes very weird in my mouth, but right now I already get used to it, and I think I started to like it.
I don't know if there's a difference that exists here. So in Sichuan, we just not only like spicy, we also love like numbness.
Oh.
You know, for I don't know what's that name. It's a kind of pepper, but it's very different from the chili one. It gives you like a numbness feeling. Maybe that's a little bit different between your food and then Sichuan food.
Yeah.
So how about Tracy? Do you have spicy food in your hometown?
Vietnamese people don't eat a lot of spicy. For me also. And when my first time when I came here, I eat Sichuan hot pot.
Hot pot? Okay.
And when I go back, I have a stomachache.
Oh my god!
but now it's
right.
but now I'm getting more and more
Now
like
you're
the
getting
spicy
used
food
to it.
here.
Okay, you
Yeah.
will get
I think
to
I
it.
will.
You will get
I
to
will
it.
make the spicy food here when I go back to Vietnam.
Okay, sure. So when we talk about lo si fen, I also know that there is one noodle-like thing in Vietnam, it's called pho.
Pho.
Is that for
Pho.
Vietnam,
Yeah.
right? Is it kind of similar or is different?
No.
I know
For me,
that
I think
they
it's-
will add like the hot spicy sauce in that.
Yeah, we will
Pho.
put the spicy sauce inside, but the
It's
taste
very
is
different from Losifen, right?
yeah, the taste is
But which
very
one do you
different.
prefer? Losifen or pho?
Oh, it's hard for me.
It's
I
hard.
have to choose.
Okay, Mark.
I like
And
both.
then
Yes.
you should try hard to let them fall in love with Losifen right now. So I just have a question for you. What's so
Sure.
special about Losifen? Because speaking of Guangxi, we must talk about the Losifen noodles. And what I've heard from my friends who traveled to Guangxi, they said even streets were teeming with the unique smell of the Losifen noodles. So what exactly is this charming and magical Losifen? Can you tell us?
Yes, of course. We welcome all guests to come to Guangxi to taste the most authentic losifen. It is a local snack with a very strong regional characteristics. It tastes sour and spicy and fresh. And it also comes with a very unique, pungent, so-called the stinky smell. Many people may be resistant to this smell at their first try, but once they take a bite, and it will become irresistible to them. So if you have a chance, you just try. You forget about the smell. You just put the noodles into your mouth, and then you will taste it. You will find that it is delicious.
Mm-hmm. So first of all, if you have to fall in love with Losifen, you have to get rid of its smell, right?
Yes.
So maybe for Tracy, you've already know the smell, but then for Darren, it's a completely different experience. So what? Now I just feel a whiff of strange smell here in our live room. And I know you guys, Tracy and Darren, would you like to try some of the Losifen right now?
Yeah, of course. I'm very curious because it said that the smell is not good, but the taste is good, right? So I'm really curious.
Yes, you all should try that. Maybe just like durian. When you smell it, you maybe think it is stinky, but once you take a bite, I think you will love it.
Here's one for you, Tracy. You can smell it. Try to smell it. I know it may be very different, but
Actually, I don't know why, but I think it's not that bad that people say about that.
right?
Yeah.
It's not that bad.
Yeah.
What do you think, Darren? Since this is like your first time.
Yeah, smells a little bit. I think it smells a little bit weird, but I don't know the taste yet. So
Okay. Now, you can try now.
Oh.
Yeah, you can try now. You
Oh.
can try.
Okay.
Just take a bite. Wow, you guys can use chopsticks.
Yeah.
So do you guys use chopsticks at your hometown?
Yeah, Vietnamese people use chopsticks.
Oh,
too.
chopsticks?
But actually, I use chopstick. Not very good.
Not very good. Now you have time to practice.
Yeah, always delicious.
It's delicious. Surprisingly, it's very delicious.
Is it spicy?
No.
Is it as spicy as your Indonesian food? Because you said Sichuan's pepper is not spicy at all. So how about this one?
I think it's more spicier than Sichuan pepper, but
Spicier? Okay.
But I think in
I accept
Indonesia
that.
it's more spicier than this.
Oh, even more.
Yeah, because if I eat the spicy noodles in Indonesia, it will make me cry and sweat a lot like that. Yeah, it's very spicy.
Eat more. And then maybe you can cry.
Yeah, maybe.
How about you, Tracy? Is it
Very
good?
It's always good. This is one of my favorite food here.
Favorite food? Wow. So what's your first time when you ate this? What's your feeling at that time?
It's still okay, but no, my first impression with luo sifen is not here.
It's not here?
In Guangxi.
Oh,
I've been in
wow.
Guangxi before for 4 months. And
months?
my first time to smell that, ooh, it's ooh, what is that? Yeah. But when I try it here, it's different.
So would you agree that I said before when you came to Guangxi and then you walk down the street and then
They have a
the
super
smell is
small
everywhere.
restaurant.
Oh
Yeah, and
they got a lot of
every
like,
time
small
I go
restaurants that sell losifin,
Yeah.
and then they have this strange smell, and then someone would say, "Ooh, what's that?"
Yeah. So that's
And here
why
I also have some data about the losifen. You know, since the prepackaged introduction of the prepackaged losifen, this dish has gone viral at home and abroad through the e-commerce platforms. In just in last year, the total sales revenue of this whole industry chain reached about 60 billion yuan, providing more than 300 jobs, and it has been sold to more than 28 countries and regions around the world.
Wow.
According to the director of Liuzhou Bureau of Commerce, the whole sales revenue of this whole industry chain is expected to exceed 90 billion yuan by 2025. So just like President Xi said, it is a small bowl of rice noodle, but it is a great industry.
Yeah, and it's not just only a ball of noodles. It also connects
Yes.
different cultures
Yeah.
from different countries. So we just wonder if Losifin noodles will also show up at the Western China International Fair, because it's very popular. And why does it attract people from countries of the Asians? And do you know why, Mark?
Yes, I believe you can definitely find Losifen at this Western China International Fair, because as far as I know, this Losifen has already become a hot sell product at various exhibitions. So I think there's no exception for this fair, this year's fair. And the reason why Losifen is also quite popular among the consumer in ASEAN countries, I think it has something to do with the a similar food culture and the increasingly close exchange between Guangxi and ASEAN countries. So first of all, people in Southeast Asia also like to eat sour and spicy food, such as tom yum soup from Thailand, right?
Yeah,
And
sure.
so I think it is much easier for them to accept the taste of losifen. And secondly, the people in Guangxi and ASEAN countries have very close exchanges for a long time, and the food cultures of the two regions have influenced on each other. So today, Guangxi is the major international gateway connecting China and the ASEAN countries. Since 2018, Nanning International Airport has already opened direct flights, 10 direct flights to all the ASEAN countries. And so such close exchanges between these two sites inevitably have an impact on the food culture of the two regions. And plus the rapid development of the cross-border e-commerce in China and the ASEAN countries in recent years, a huge amount of packaged raw stuff has sold to the ASEAN market. So I think because more and more people, more and more local people have the chance to try it, taste it, and then fall in love with it. Yes.
I got it. So, besides loaves and noodles, what other food in Guangxi would you recommend to our friends here?
Yes, there is so much delicious food in Guangxi that we could talk about all day long. Just now we mentioned lo shifen, right? In fact, in there are many kinds of rice noodles in different parts of Guangxi, and each place has its own characteristics. For example, in Nanning here we have Lao You Fen, Lao You rice noodle. In Guilin they have Guilin rice noodles. In Beihai they have these seafood rice noodles, etc. So all of these noodles are very tasty, but they may not be as well known as the lo shifen. I think simply because they haven't been able to make into the packaged snacks that can be sold to consumers outside Guangxi. And here I like to recommend one of our local drinks. I think it is very special, and also I think it has similar one in
Oh, it seems like we lost our signal for a while. But it's fine. We'll wait till Mark gets back. Oh yeah, he's back.
Okay. Just now I want to recommend you one of our local drinks, which is called Guangxi oil tea. I think I know that Tibetan in Sichuan province, they also have a similar drinks, also called oil tea, Tibetan oil tea. In Guangxi oil tea is a very a strong taste of tea, which is very refreshing and healthy. Although it is called oil tea, but it doesn't take oily. So maybe next time you come to Guangxi, you can have a try it. Have try this local drinks, and maybe in the near future, this kind of drink also can be made into the packaged food and then sold to customers outside Guangxi.
Yeah, sure. Tea. Do you guys love tea?
To be honest, I don't really like tea.
You don't really
Yeah,
like?
I
Oh my
don't-
god.
But I can drink it. But usually I will add some sugar into
Oh
the tea,
yeah,
so it will
yeah, yeah.
taste a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, got it. Maybe next time when you taste some like spicier food than Sichuan food, then you can drink that Guangxi tea with
Oh,
that.
Yes,
And then
yes.
see, maybe you should try. Have you tried that when you travel to Guangxi?
No, before I came here, I never drink tea.
You never drink
Yeah,
tea.
because
Wow.
in my impression, tea is very bitter.
Yeah,
It's bitter?
Yeah,
Oh.
but when I came here in Sichuan and I start to try to drink tea, and I
how's
no,
that?
it's not that bitter. It's,
Yeah, right. And also you have
I never
bubble
know
tea.
it before.
And then you also have bubble tea, right? So Mark, is that tea bitter
Bubble tea.
or no?
No, it doesn't. It is not bitter. It
Then
yeah.
you should try. Then you should try.
But some people like to add some sugar, salt in it instead of sugar. They want to, salt. They want to put some salt in it. So that's why it is very special, I think.
Another option is to
Yeah,
add
sugar
salt,
and salt.
not sugar.
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe you should try that.
Oh yeah.
Very new experience. So, gastronomy is undoubtedly an important bridge for cultural understanding and shared experience. In terms of cultural exchange and intercultural communication between China and countries of the Asian, and are any successful cultural communication cases where food plays a crucial role, Mark?
Yes. The Losfen we just mentioned I think is a very typical case and a successful case of Chinese food going global. In fact, with the deepening cooperation between China and ASEAN countries, more and more people from ASEAN countries choose to start businesses, and live in China. It is reported that at present, universities in Guangxi have established cooperative relations with the nearly 200 universities and colleges in ASEAN countries. And Guangxi has become one of the provinces in China that recruit the most international students from ASEAN countries. So I think such frequent contact between the two sides has made Nanning as a showcase center of ASEAN food. So in the street of Nanning, there are many Southeast Asian restaurants, such as Thai restaurants, Vietnamese restaurants, even Indonesian snacks. We also can easily find here. So therefore, many people from northern part of China who visit Nanning also want to taste the ASEAN food, and so they take Guangxi as a window to understand ASEAN culture. In addition, here I want to mention a case which is Liuzhou has even launched a type of Lucifen which caters only for ASEAN customers. It is a coconut flavor Lucifen with tom yum soup as the soup base. So I haven't tried that before, but I think maybe you guys, the guests from the friends from Vietnam and Indonesia, next time you can try whether whether it suits your flavor or not. And it is said that this special flavor Lucifen is developed by an international student also from Indonesia, who studies in Guangxi. So I think this is also another vivid epitome of a close exchanges and cooperation between Guangxi and the ASEAN countries.
Mhm, mhm. So talking about international student, and also as you mentioned before, the coconut flavor Luosifen is also developed and invented by an international student. So I want to ask Tracy and Darren here, do you have any relatable experience to this? For example, like food culture can help you to make friends, maybe with friends in China or any cultural exchange.
Me first. Actually, I have a friend, a Chinese friend. She is Lashan.
From Leshan.
Yeah, she is from Lashan.
Yeah, okay.
And then she brought me some kind of duck, and she gave me that.
乐山甜皮呀。
Yeah.
Oh,
She
wow.
said that it's famous at Lashan, so she gave me that, and I tasted it, and I think it's very delicious. So that's how I got friends. Yeah.
So that's
From
how you
food.
make connections
Make
with those
connection,
friends.
yeah.
And would you recommend that duck to your families back home?
Yeah, of course, it's very delicious. Yeah.
So as Mark mentioned before, right now the transportation between countries like China, and your country, Indonesia, and then Vietnam are very feasible and convenient.
Yeah.
So through e-commerce, maybe you can buy these products to your hometown, and then they can be delivered in very short time.
Yeah, I when I still in Indonesia, I bought something from China.
From China?
Yeah, it's
Through
from
Taobao?
AliExpress.
Oh,
Yeah,
AliExpress!
I
Wow.
bought an earphone
Mhm,
from
mhm.
China from AliExpress, and
Wow. See, that's how transportation helps.
yeah.
And then how about Tracy?
I think in Vietnam, in Vietnam we have Luosifen also.
You also have Luosifen?
from China.
From China.
Yeah,
Okay.
they buy it on internet and send a lot of China food to Vietnam.
They sell
a lot
it
of
online or offline?
online.
Online.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
wow.
like Vietnamese people buy a lot of China food and send to Vietnam and sell to Vietnamese.
But do
Yeah.
they change a little bit or it's just the same thing?
No, example buy your guy drink, your guy noodle, 螺蛳粉. Yeah, it's China's and buy to sell to Vietnam, and a lot of Vietnam people know about China food.
Yes, indeed. Food is like the most simple way to connect people. And then another form of art, which is music, can also bring people together. And music, as we know, is one of the most delightful art and one of the earliest forms of human art. At the Sanxingdui room site, I don't know if you guys know, in Guangxi, Sichuan province, more than 4,000 years ago, many unearthed musical instruments were said to be related to Asian Shu people's religious sacrifices, such as tone chimes and bells. So a little bit background about the Sanxingdui rooms. It is in southwest China, also known as one of the world's greatest archaeological findings of the 20th century. The relics unearthed at Sanxingdui are solid evidence that Asian Shu culture was a part of Asian Chinese culture. With more unprecedented treasures set to be brought to light, the next stage will be laboratory research and cultural relics restoration. Now it's the showtime of the bronze drum of Guangxi, which also bears a history of 1,000 years. So, Mark, could you also please introduce the history of Guangxi's Tonggu, or the bronze drum, and what are the characteristics?
Of course, the bronze drum is a representative symbol of Zhuang culture, which has a history of more than 2,700 years. So it is a kind of percussion instrument with ornamental value. The face of the drum has various patterns, including the patterns of frogs, the sun, and water ripples, as well as geometric patterns. And these elements are closely related to farmers' work and life. So it can be said that the bronze drum is the product of the rice culture. So it is not only a musical instrument, but also a special language, a cultural carrier and symbol. So the drum people, they hope for the good weather, hope for the good while they're playing the drums, showing their deep respect to the nature and the affection to the land that raised them. And it is worth mentioning that just a few days ago, archaeologists discovered an ancient tomb that in Pingguo city, and they excavated some bronze drum and a number of cultural relics. The experts preliminarily identified the tomb is a tomb of the Warring State period, dating back more than 2,000 years. So, at present, Guangxi is the region with the most complete types of and the largest numbers of ancient bronze drums unearthed and collected. In the ancient times, South China and Southeast Asia all belonged to the Bronze Drum culture circle. As early as 2,000 years ago, um, South China and the Southeast Asia had already carried out exchanges in the production of drums. So the two sides' bronze drum culture influenced each other. Nowadays, bronze drums have been discovered in all ASEAN countries except for the Philippines. So it is true that bronze drum are the common carrier of Chinese and ASEAN cultures. So when we talk about the bronze drum, everyone will have a sense of affinity, and similar cultures can easily join us closer. So I also want to know the friends from Darren and Tracy. Have you seen the bronze drum in your country?
No, I never see a bronze drum before.
No?
Maybe all in the museum. You haven't been to the museum, and didn't notice it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe I didn't notice it.
How about Tracy?
Yeah, my hometown. Vietnam bronze drum is from my hometown also.
Oh.
And the
Oh.
first time when I go to Guangxi and I saw Guangxi bronze drum, I was very surprised. Oh, what is here?
Oh wow.
Yeah, but
So you also
after
have that.
after I know that is different. Yeah, but at first it look very same. Yeah.
What are the specific differences?
Sorry.
What are the specific differences between the bronze
I think
drum
the
in Guangxi and then the one you
pattern.
The pattern?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we've talked about is like mostly about the history of the bronze drum, and then for nowadays for our young people, especially the younger generation, they care more about like how it transformed into a modern form of music. So how do people perform with the bronze drum nowadays, Mark?
Yes, the bronze drum was originally a percussion instrument and a sacrificial article in ancient China. But with the change of times and the diversification of culture, the bronze drum has gradually begun to be integrated into modern form of performance. For example, bronze drums are often performed with dancing and singing and are often used to perform in narrative plays. So every year in some grand gatherings or festivals in Guangxi, we can always hear the sound of bronze drums, which can create a very grand and festive atmosphere. So next time, if you guys have the chance to come to Guangxi to take part in our celebrations, you definitely will hear the drum and see the drum and hear the voice of it, hear the sound of it.
Yeah, they do have a lot of festivals. You guys should
Yes.
come. And then I'm just curious, how does the ethnic culture influence the local music? Because I know, like in Guangxi, they have a lot of minority groups. So how's that goes to play?
Yes, Guangxi is a multi-ethnic and multicultural region. We have many different minority groups here. We have Han, we have Zhuang, we have Yao, Dong, and Miao people, and other ethnic groups. So each ethnic group has its own distinctive characteristics and styles, which together constitute the diversified music culture of Guangxi. For example, Zhuang people like singing folk songs to express their emotions, and the people also have their unique musical instrument, which is called tianqin. I think Tracy from Vietnam, your side also have a similar instrument, similar to this tianqin. So they sing the folk songs while they're playing the tianqin, and we even have a special festival every year on the third day of March of the lunar calendar, which is called San Festival. So during this period, the Zhuang people will hold various kinds of singing activities.
So as you ask about Tracy, I just want to ask two of you. Does local culture have impact on your music, local music? Do you have any examples?
Me first.
Yeah, you seem to
yeah.
want to talk.
So, okay. So, first of all, in Indonesia, we also have a lot of ethnic groups, and each ethnic group has their own local instruments like that. So, if they also have a traditional songs, right? So, because they have a different music instruments, each ethnic group has a different music instruments, right? So it will impact on their traditional music. But when we talk about modern music in Indonesia, usually they don't use the traditional instruments anymore. They usually use the more modern instrument like guitar, piano, drum, and keyboard.
But at least you have some festivals where people, especially old people, they will use traditional
there
instruments.
Are some traditional festival that and they will still use the traditional music instruments. Yeah.
Wow. So how about Tracy?
I think it's same in Vietnam. Yeah. Now, if there's someone play the traditional music instrument, it's not really for. It's not because they like it or something. Because like if you are travel to Vietnam and you want to know about Vietnam traditional thing, and they will play it for you.
Okay, it's more like just a performance for the tourists.
Yeah.
Okay, but do you have like festivals where people will use instruments, traditional instruments? Or will you have classes maybe at school to teach you traditional instruments?
No, we don't
Not
learn
anymore.
That. We don't study about
what
that.
a pity. So as we just talked about the ethnic groups, and as Mark mentioned before, Guangxi is an autonomous region with the largest minority population in China, and so is Sichuan province, because Sichuan province is inhabited by multiple ethnic groups, and which also creates a characteristic ethnic costumes and cultural diversity in two places. So as Marquez has already talked to us before, how many minority groups have in Guangxi province, and so maybe tell us some more interesting examples of the costumes. For example, their clothes, intangible cultural heritages, festivals, or family norms.
Yeah, sure. In Guangxi, we have many different ethnic groups, and Zhuang people is the largest ethnic groups in Guangxi, accounting for about 34% of the total population of Guangxi. And all the ethnic groups in Guangxi have retained their distinctive costumes, music, dance, food, and festivals. So now, such as I just mentioned just now, in Zhuang people, we have San festival, right? And in other ethnic group, let's say the Yao, they have the Pan Wang festival. And in the Miao people, they have other kinds of festival. And we even have the some customs that is very interesting, such as for the Yao people, they have a very special, interesting marriage custom, which is called 嫁郎. Have you ever heard of this term?
Marriage form? No. I neither.
It is very interesting. It literally means that a man marries into and lives into the woman's family, and so on the wedding day of the Yao people, the bride is waiting at home for the arrival of her grooms. So in the later marriage, they will the groom will be stay with the woman's families. So it is example that showing the equal status of men and women. So I think it is very interesting.
Wow, that's interesting. So that's like the husband will live together with the woman's family.
Yes, and their children can choose their surnames based on this kind
either side. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, that's cool. So Tracy and Darren, do you also find any similarities within your culture for example, like the minority groups, maybe share some of these kind of customs with maybe Chinese minority groups?
Yeah. I think in Vietnam, some minority group will have the almost same clothes with the minority group here.
Here? Or
Yeah,
which minority
some
group?
like I think we have Mao.
You
Mao
also have
people
Miao ethnic
also,
group?
yeah.
Wow.
And yeah, I saw about that before, but my knowledge about minority is not too much.
Oh,
So
okay.
I can't stop.
Yeah, cool.
Sorry.
Yes,
And then how about
I saw
Darren?
I saw Tracy wearing his traditional costume. I also have seen a similar costume in Guangxi. I think
Yeah.
that might be the same ethnic group as yours.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
talking about your clothes, can you
Yeah.
do a brief introduction to our audience about your clothes? It's very
I
special.
don't know how to explain. Okay, normal Vietnamese people will wearing just that clothes and without a hat.
Mhm.
But I want something more. Yeah, like normal. The when we married or something,
Mhm.
we will have one day for traditional clothes, and they will have this cap hat with the red color.
Red color?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No one will wearing the black clothes like me. I just like this, so yeah. But yeah, this one is for married and with the red color.
Mhm. So in what occasions will you wear these besides a hat?
Every time, like if you go to somebody marriage,
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah, or some holiday like teacher day, the teacher will dress this. Woman day, woman will dress this, or maybe New Year, Lunar New Year, and yeah, I think so.
So is it normal for people like you, like in Vietnam, to wear this?
They
on street?
usually the ring.
So it's like
what
very
ring, so,
traditional
yeah.
thing for you guys to
Usually
wear this.
wearing that captures.
That's cool. And then how about Darren? I saw you also wear.
clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So actually, in Indonesia, every ethnic groups has their own traditional clothes, but this one is called batik.
Batik?
Batik. Yeah.
Oh.
Batik is like an international traditional clothes in Indonesia. This one. So this clothes is like has a very unique pattern.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
saw the
very
patterns.
unique
So
pattern.
what does these pattern mean?
Yeah, I don't really know about the
You don't
meaning of
really
the
know?
pattern. Yeah.
It
So,
seems like some leaves and
Yeah.
then some waves of the ocean, maybe.
so the people usually will use this kind of clothes, this batik, for a very formal event. So if very important meeting or marriage.
Marriage.
Yeah,
Okay,
marriage,
okay.
yeah, something like that.
And also, do you find any like similar ethnic groups maybe in Indonesia?
Actually, I don't really know about a lot of ethnic groups in Indonesia because it's too
It's
many.
so diverse.
Yeah, it's so
Okay,
diverse.
okay, got it.
But I found one similarities between a Chinese culture and Indonesian culture. When the Chinese New Year, people usually will clean their house, right?
Yeah.
And based on what I know, it's because it's symbolized that they throw the bad luck.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. It's trying to get rid of the bad luck.
Yeah,
And then maybe the evil things and all.
yeah, like something like that. And in Indonesia, we also
You also have that costume.
have that one event. It's called Lebaran, but it's a religion event. And they will also do the same thing. They
The
will clean
cleaning
the
thing.
house.
Wow.
And in Chinese New Year, we all know that a home red envelope.
Yeah, the red. Yeah,
In
red envelope.
in Lebaran event, they also have.
They also have that,
Yeah.
so you will get money.
Yeah,
When it's
like-
Chinese New Year.
Lucky money.
And when people Chinese people really love to eat noodles, right? Because noodles symbolize the longevity.
Yeah.
In Indonesia, when the Lebaran event begins, people loves to eat rice wrapped with coconut coconut leaf. It's called ketupat. Ketupat is rice wrapped with coconut leaf. It symbolizes a person that can hold his will to do the bad things. Yeah.
Oh wow,
So-
wow.
Yeah, like like that.
So many similarities.
Yeah.
So this time I want to ask Mark. China and Asian countries have close and frequent cultural exchanges, as our friends mentioned before, and friendly relations with a long history. So what are some examples of cultural exchange between Guangxi and the Asian countries in your side?
Yes, Guangxi has close social and geographical relations with ASEAN countries, which are derived from the Baiyue ethnic group in ancient China. So, therefore, some languages, customs, religious beliefs, and living habits carried from Baiyue still exist in ethnic groups in ASEAN countries. So, you may not know that is studies have shown that the Zhuang language and some of the ASEAN languages such as Thai, Lao, all developed from the same language families. And that's the similarity between the Zhuang and the Thai is more than 70%. Maybe the Tracy from Vietnam, maybe if you learn Chinese, have you ever found that some words are similar? If you try to learn Zhuang language, you will find that these two languages has some similar words and pronounce the same. And in addition, Guangxi is the third largest home of overseas Chinese. And most of the overseas Chinese from Guangxi are mainly concentrated in Southeast Asia, especially Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia, and other countries in the Indochina Peninsula. So it is true that many ethnic groups in Guangxi and many ethnic groups in Southeast Asian countries are of the same origin but different branch. So these ethnic kinship will play an more important role in promoting cultural exchanges and cooperation between the two sides, thus promoting the development of friendly relations between China and ASEAN countries. And as the forefront and important window of the exchanges and cooperation between China and ASEAN countries, Guangxi has initially formed a transportation network connecting ASEAN countries and by sea, land, and air. So domestic tourists are often in transit into Nanning to go to ASEAN countries. And ASEAN tourist groups can also enter Guilin, Guangxi without visa application. So all these have further strengthened people-to-people exchange between the two sides.
As you mentioned, culture is not only the thing that can bind groups of different backgrounds, and the successful win-win cooperation can actually also shape long-term friendships that foster boundless development. And as Mari mentioned before, we also constructed a transportation that can help the people exchange, culture exchange between the two sides. Sichuan and Guangxi are striving to co-construct the new land-sea corridor. The new international land-sea trade corridor, a part of the Belt and Road Initiative, is a logistic and trade passage with an optional hub in Chongqing. It is a new corridor connecting Western China and Association of Southeast Asian Nations, which has a great impact on the development of transportation, trade, and the economy of these regions. And also, the new land-sea corridor has covered 16 provinces in China, or autonomous regions, municipalities in central and western China. And the transport categories have increased from more than a dozen kinds of ceramics in place to more than 640 kinds of automobile parts, computer parts, new energy vehicles, and other goods, to 335 ports in 113 countries and regions around the world. So before we delve into the latest update of the new land-sea corridor, let's take a glimpse of its introduction video first.
The beautiful Beibu Gulf hugs China's southwest coast, close to the Greater Bay Area of Hong Kong, China, and Macau, China. Its long coastline leads all the way to the southeast of China. These are the highlands of China's opening up, full of the vitality of a new era. Here lies a brand new land-sea corridor that brings China closer to the world. and extends mutually beneficial and profound friendship outwards.
So basically, the new land-sea corridor is just a transportation hub for both sides. So I don't know if Tracy and Darren, do you know anything about it? And what maybe could be the interesting parts that you want to know about it?
New land-sea.
The new land-sea corridor. You never heard
that
about it?
before.
Yeah, I don't know much about that, but I think it's some kind of transportation hub to
Yeah,
transport things. Yeah, like electronic products or vehicle products, like something like that, to another countries, right? And I found a lot of Chinese products in Indonesia. I think we can find a lot of Chinese products everywhere because even Apple is an American company, right?
Yeah, everything has a label like made in China.
Yeah, everything is made in China.
So maybe you guys want to know first, what is it?
Yeah.
And then the second, what kind of products it transports, right? So maybe this time, Mark, maybe can help us to answer the question.
Yes, I think this question should be answered by someone who is professional in the particular area. And I'm very glad to be joined by Mr. Fu Yuanjia, professor of the School of Economics and Management of Beibu Gulf University and executive vice president of Qinzhou Development Research Institute. Professor Fu, welcome to our live stream. And 傅教授，你可以跟大家打声招呼。You can say hello to all the audience at home and abroad.
各位观众大家好。
Now, please share with us your insightful thoughts about question that Queenie just asked, and we can,
Yeah, maybe I should ask first. Okay. Hello, Professor Fu. As a frontier and window of open cooperation with Asian countries, Guangxi has adhered to a combination of bringing in and going out in recent years. Actively using two markets, two resources at home and abroad, deeply participated in the construction of Belt and Road, and promoted all-round cooperation with Asian countries. So my first question is, what new achievements has Guangxi made in accelerating the construction of the new land-sea corridor in the West this year, and any specific data? 所以我的第一个问题就是傅教授，那么今年广西在加快推进西部陆海行动道建设上面有没有什么新的成效？是否有一些具体的数据呢？
好，这个作为加快融入新发展格局的牵引工程，西部陆海行动道建设正持续推进，取得显著的成效。那么今年呢，一季度广西完成西部陆海行动道重大项目投资199.41亿元，海铁联运班列累计开行2169列，同比增长了25.0%。目前呢，西部陆海行动道已经辐射国内18个省份、60个城市、116个站点，实现了西部陆海行动道全覆盖。通达全球119个国家和地区的393个港口。
I will do the translation. Professor Fu just said the construction of the new land-sea trade corridor is continuing to advance, and so far we have achieved remarkable results. In the first quarter of this year, Guangxi completed investment of 19.941 billion yuan on major projects under the ILSTC construction, and a total of 2,169 trains were operated, an increase of 25% year on year. At present, the service under this trade corridor covers 18 provinces, 60 cities, and 160 stations in China, achieving full coverage of Western China and connecting 393 ports in 119 countries and regions around the world.
新通道在吸引投资、促进产业集蓄等方面呢，发挥了积极的作用。北海、防城港、钦州等3个临港产业园区已经实现工业产值超1000亿元， 中马两个双园、中新南宁国资物流园、川桂国资产能合作产业园等国质省市合作园区建设加快，通道产业急需效应逐步显现。
So the ILSTC has played a positive role in attracting investment and promoting industrial agglomeration. And the three harbor industrial parks, Beihai, Fangchenggang, and Qinzhou, have achieved industrial output value of more than 100 billion yuan. The construction of international industrial parks, such as China-Malaysia, two countries, twin parks, the China-Singapore Nanning International Logistic Park, and the Provincial Cooperation Park, and the agglomeration effect has gradually emerged.
此外，北部湾港在降费提效方面成果的显著的。目前，北部湾港综合收费水平与国内主要港口的水平基本是持平的。广西口岸正口整体通关时间已经从2017年的56.59小时缩短到2021年的5.36小时。
In addition, Beibuga Port has achieved remarkable results in fee reduction and efficiency improvement. At present, the comprehensive service charge of Beibuga Port is basically the same as that of major domestic ports, and the overall custom clearance time for imports at Guangxi ports has been shortened from about 57 hours in 2017 to only 5.36 hours in 2021. So after listening to these amazing facts about the Beibuga port, you may wonder, how does the port look like and how does it function? Now let's take a look at the port by following the camera of our reporter Rolly, who is right now at the Qinzhou port and also on the line with us. Rolly, hello, Rolly.
Hello, this is Rolly from Guangxi Radio and Television, and now I'm here in Guangxi, Qinzhou. I'm standing in the Qinzhou autonomic contained terminal from the Beibu Group. And with the seniors, the energies Su Xuanyi, he will give us the brief overview of the here. Okay.
Hello, my name is Su Xuanying, and I work in the Qingzhou Automatic Container Terminal as an operation manager. So I will make some simple introduction for you. Qingzhou Automatic Container Terminal of Beibu Gulf is an important measure for the autonomous regions to implement the national strategies of the new land and the sea passageway in the West. And it is a major project to practice the forest class and build a world-class stronghold. The project is divided into two phases. The first phase is a reconstruction project. The construction of two 100,000-ton fully automated container terminal have been put into operation on June 28, 2022. And the second phase of the project is a new project. Two new 200,000-ton fully automated container berths are planning to be put into operation in the near future. As the fifth fully automatic container terminal that has been put into China, the project is equipped with the advanced intelligence, efficiency, and energy savings, automatic loading and unloading equipment, horizontal transport equipment, as well as a number of automatic information systems. To achieve a higher degree of informationization, standardization, and full automation of container terminal, and create an intelligent, efficient, green, and convenient Beibu Gulf intelligence container terminal. The replicated Beibu Gulf plan can be promoted to contribute to the construction of the automatic container terminal in the world. So the terminal also can bring some benefit to the sea rail transport. The Qingzhou Automatic Container Terminal of Beibu Port is located at the junction of South China Economic Cycle, Southwest Economic Cycles, Penpal River Delta Economic Cycle, and the ASEAN Economic Cycle to the north, Guangdong, Hainan Province, Hong Kong, and Macau to the east, Vietnam to the west, and the Hainan Islands to the south. It's the sea mouth of the new land and the sea passages in the west. At the same time, as the country's first automatic terminal for the serial intermodal transport, the rail of yard is adjacent to the railway central stations. Container can be transported efficiently through the terminal automation equipment, realizing the seamless connection of getting off and getting on the boat in the combined serial transport. Through the serial transport, it has not only opened up the logistic and economic breakpoints and make up for the strong shortcoming in the southwest inland areas, but also provide the domestic and the foreigner customer with the door-to-door and point-to-point, one box to the end service, helping more goods to reach the sea, better service to build a new development patterns, and providing strong support for the implementation of major nation strategy and the protection of the national economic security. So thank you for coming.
Okay, it's over.
So back to you, Queenie.
Okay, thank you, Raleigh, and the person who introduced all these informations for us. So right now we have a little bit information about the Qingzhou port. So I want to ask the expert and Mark. So what are the impacts of the new land sea corridor on economic development and international trade of Guangxi and Sichuan? And what have Guangxi and Sichuan achieved in promoting economic trade collaboration with Asian countries? And what are the goods have been bringing in and then going out from Guangxi and Sichuan through a new land sea corridor in the west? 那么我接下来想请问一下我们的专家以及马克，西部陆海新通道对于广西以及四川两地的经济发展、国际贸易等方面有什么样的影响呢？广西以及四川两地在推进与东盟经贸合作方面都有什么样的收获？以及广西和四川两地通过西部陆海新通道的引进来和走出去的货物主要都有哪一些？
是这样啊，这个成都地区啊，它与东盟商品的门类互补性是比较强的，双方贸易具备一定的基础。那么随着西部陆海新通道的加速建设，东盟作为四川省第2大贸易伙伴，那么东盟与四川产业链、供应链合作进入了新的阶段。那么通过西部陆海新通道一趟趟往返于成都与东盟的货运班列，那么给东盟带来了东南亚生产的水果、粮食、海鲜等特色产品，比如说榴莲啦、山竹啦等等。那么这个同时呢，四川的这个累制品、农业设备、工业设备、化工产品以及食品、生活用品等川货，它通过铁海联运又运达这个泰国的曼谷、越南的海防，这个印尼的雅加达等地。
Well, Professor Fu just told us the commodity categories of Chengdu, Chongqing Circle and ASEAN countries are highly complementary and giving a solid foundation for the trade between the two sides. With the acceleration of ILSTC, both sides have entered a new stage of cooperation in industrial chain and supply chain. Through these trade corridor, cargo trains shuttling between Chengdu and ASEAN have brought to Sichuan special products such as fruits, grain, and seafood, which are abundant in Southeast Asia, and Sichuan goods such as aluminum products, agricultural and industry equipment, chemical products, food and daily necessities from Sichuan have reached Bangkok in Thailand, Haiphong in Vietnam, and Jakarta in Indonesia through rail sea intermodal transportation.
近年来呢，作为东盟的前沿，广西呢也在积极依托广西西部陆海气通道这个通道，深化与东盟经贸合作，成效同样是显著的。那么东盟呢已经连续23年成为广西第一大贸易伙伴。那么根据南宁海关的统计，今年前5个月，广西对东盟正出口1370.6亿元，那么同比增长呢是117.4%。那么对 ICP 其他成员国的进口额就达到了15550.2亿元，那么同比增长呢是104.4%啊。随着西部陆海通道的发展呢，那么广西与四川等西部地区的经贸往来也非常的密切。那么千桂产业园它的建设已经取得了初步的成效。
So in recent years, Guangxi continues to deepen economic and trade cooperation with ASEAN countries, and remarkable results have been achieved. ASEAN has been the largest trading partner of Guangxi for 23 consecutive years. According to the statistics of Nanning Customs, in the first 5 months of this year, Guangxi's import and export to ASEAN reached 137.06 billion yuan, up 117.4% year-on-year, and imports and exports to the RCEP member countries reached 155.52 billion yuan, up 104.4% year-on-year. So with the development of the new Land Sea Trade Corridor, the economic and trade exchanges between Guangxi and Sichuan and other western regions are even closer, and the construction of Sichuan Guangxi International Production Capacity Cooperation Industrial Park has achieved initial results.
So what you basically talk about is like not only the culture but also the product exchange, the economic trade between the two sides. So for the guests here, we also want to ask you a very simple question. So what products have you seen that has been transported maybe from China to your home country?
So I found a lot of Chinese products in Indonesia, especially the electronic devices like Xiaomi, Huawei, Oppo,
the electronic
Vivo.
devices.
Yeah, and also the vehicles like Wuling.
Wuling.
I think all of that are from China, right?
You mean
actually?
Yeah, the new energy vehicle. It's actually from Guangxi. So that's how they use this new Land Sea corridor to transport these products.
Export for export and import products between China.
So are these new energy vehicle very popular in your home country?
The Wuling, it's very popular.
And then how about Tracy? Do you have any examples? Maybe like fruits, food. That can also be like the products maybe you've seen.
I think everything in Vietnam they will take from China.
Really?
Like every kind of thing will have made in China. It's not all from Vietnam. Like
so how do you think?
Clothes, electric device, and fruit also, of course.
So how do you think about this convenience that you can get many products, high quality products from China?
I think it's good because the price not like very, very expensive, but the quality is good.
At a low price and then a higher quality.
And we will have more choice.
So I also have a question for our expert here. So are there any specific examples or ongoing projects of the cooperation between Sichuan and Guangxi in terms of this new land sea corridor or the relationship with ASEAN countries? 就是我现在想问一下广西那边的专家，就是副教授，那么关于这个川贵的合作，是否有一些已经落地的或者是比较具体的合作例子呢？
川贵的这个落地的话，主要就是那个川贵产业园区那边，这个有的这个园区的建设现在运行，这方面有的是企业证去了，比如说一些四川那边的你们那些这个好像是泸州的一个酒厂，还有其他一些四川这方面一些这个与四川有关的机电的项目啊等等，这方面有好的项目已经正去运作，目前基础设施已经完备了，这个很多产业已经在运作。
So one of the main projects about jointly built by Sichuan and Guangxi is the Sichuan Guangxi International Production Capacity Cooperation Industrial Park. Now, so far the park has basically complete, and we have already introduced some enterprises from Sichuan province, such as Professor Fu just mentioned. We have a company from Luzhou. It is an alcohol company. I think you should know that. So we expect more and more enterprises will come to this park and start their business in this park in Guangxi.
And clearly, I heard that this industrial park will also come to the Western China International Fair this year. So hope they will seize the opportunities to find more investments to get in. So my next question is, in the construction of the new land sea corridor in the West, how is the progress solving the problems such as port competitiveness, traffic congestion, customs clearance facilitation, logistics cost, and industrial support? What steps should be taken to correct or improve it in the future? 那么接下来我想问一下副教授的，就是在西部陆海行动道建设当中，港口竞争力、交通瓶颈、通关便利化、物流成本、产业支撑等问题的解决进展如何呢？那么今后我们应该采取什么样的措施来破解这些难题或者进行改进？
是这样，那个西部陆海行动道啊，它事关广西高质量发展的一个大项目，大通道，那么同时也是远大之势。那么广西呢？这些年来啊，先后出台了多个政策，在资金、用地、用林、用能等方面给予全方位的支持。所以呢，在提高港口的竞争力、破解交通的瓶颈、提高通关的便利化、降低物流成本、提高产业支撑度等方面取得了不小的成效。那么今后呢，我们广西呢将进一步采取措施，加大力度来提升这个通道基础设施的能级，加快提升北部湾港的现代化水平，进一步来推进港口的直线体系的建设，强化物流枢纽节点布局建设，依托南宁、北海、钦州、防城等湘海经济集聚区和平陆运河经济带，来推动港口产业和城镇的深度的融合。就加强陆海产业链、供应链对接整合，发展以石油化工、新材料、装备制造等产业为龙头的临港产业执勤。
All right, Professor just told us Guangxi has issued a number of policies to provide all-round support in terms of capital, land, forest, and energy use to support the construction of the international land sea trade corridor, which has achieved many results in improving port competitiveness, breaking traffic bottlenecks, improving custom clearance facilitation, reducing logistic costs, and improving industrial support. In the future, we will continue to take further measures to improve the infrastructure, accelerate the modernization of Beibuga Port, strengthen the layout and construction of logistic hub nodes, and promote the deep integration of ports, industries, and cities by taking advantage of the maritime economic zone and the Pinglu Canal economic belt. We will strengthen the integration of land sea industrial chains and supply chains and develop harbor industrial clusters with petrochemical, new materials, and equipment manufacturing as the leading industries.
So I hope with these supports, we will fastly introduce and construct our new land sea corridor in the west. And so I've heard that there's like a Pinglu Canal here in Guangxi Autonomous Region. So as an important part of the new land sea corridor in the west, what impact will the construction of the Pinglu Canal have on promoting the all-round cooperation with ASEAN? And just a little bit background for all the audience overseas and also the guests we have here. The Pinglu Canal has a total length of 134.2 kilometers and a design one-way annual capacity of 89 million tons. And it is expected to be completed by the end of 2026. The project mainly includes the construction of waterways, shipping hubs, water conservancy facilities, and supports cross-river projects along the canal. Upon completion, the canal will not only support the development of this region, but also become the shortest, most economical, and most convenient sea outlet in southwestern China. 那么接下来我想请问一下专家副教授，平陆运河作为西部陆海新通道的重要组成部分，它的开工建设对推进与东盟全方位合作方面将产生哪些影响呢？
是这样，平陆运河啊，我们在建设过程中啊，它不仅会是一个生态的运河，同时呢，也是一条以东盟全方位合作的有活力的这么一个向海经济带。那么建成以后的平陆运河，它不仅会支持广西的发展，那么同时呢，它也会成为我国西南、中南地区这个运距最短、成本最低、时间最省的出海这个通道。那么平陆运河建成以后，那么它将开辟西部地区南向水运出海新通道。那么货物呢，经过这平陆运河相比较以前从广东东向水运出海，那么可以缩短入海的航程约560公里。那预计每一年可为西部陆海气通道沿线地区节省运输费用52亿元以上。所以呢，它对于我们中国这个中西部地区的多个省份的这个外贸和内贸这个货运业务起到重要的支撑作用，同时也将会大大的推进沿线地区产业的发展和对外贸易。
All right, Professor Fu just said Pinglu Canal will not only be built into an ecological canal, but also become a maritime.
Oops, seems like we've lost Mark. Mark, are you there? Oh, seems like we have a clash here. Let's.
Yeah, are we back?
Okay, you're back. Welcome back.
Yeah. Well, the Pinglu Canal, the Pinglu Canal will not only be built into an ecological canal, but also become a maritime economic belt with all-round cooperation with ASEAN countries. So after completion, the Pinglu Canal will not only support the development of Guangxi, but also...
Oh, another clip. It's fine. We'll wait for him. So before he comes back... Oh, you come back.
Right now? Yeah, okay. So the Pinglu Canal will not only support the development of Guangxi, but also become the waterway to the sea with the shortest distance, the lowest cost, and the least time in southwest and central South China. Compared with the current route shipping from Guangzhou, goods shipping can shorten the voyage of about 560 kilometers. It is expected to save more than 5.2 billion yuan per year for the Western region.
Okay. So this year marks the 10th anniversary of the Belt and Road Initiative, which has been continuously promoting the deepening of China-ASEAN economic and trade cooperation. What are the opportunities for the port construction in the Beibu Gulf, and what is the future development direction of the Beibu Gulf port and the Beibu Gulf economic zone? 那么我接下来最后一个问题是想问我们的副教授，今年呢刚好是“一带一路”倡议提出的10周年，“一带一路”倡议也一直持续推动了中国东盟经贸合作持续深化，这为北部湾港口建设带来了什么样的机遇呢？未来北部湾港口以及北部湾经济区的发展方向会是什么？
实际上，随着共建“一带一路”的进一步推进呢，北湾港的发展呢将会迈上一个新的台阶。那么在基础设施、国际贸易、国际合作、区域合作、港航合作等方面呢，将会得到更快的发展。那么北湾经济区的发展前景呢，也将更加光明。那么今后呢，北湾港和北湾经济区的高质量发展将会从下面4个方面的进一步来推进：一是提高陆海互联互通的水平。推动向海经济沿海沿江沿路继续发展。2是呢，建设向海经济走廊，实现陆海经济一体化的发展。3是推动全方位的开放合作，构建跨区域、跨境产业链、供应链。4是呢，依托西部贸易通道，建设中国东盟特色商品交易中心。
Professor Fu just said, with the further advancement of the Belt and Road Initiative, the Beibu Gap port will take a big stride to reach a new level in infrastructure, trade, international and regional cooperation, and port shipping cooperation. And the prospects of Guangxi Beibu Gap economic zone will be even brighter. And the next step, Beibu Gap port and Beibu Gap economic zone will focus on the following 4 directions. First one is improve land sea connectivity and promote the development of coastal economics along rivers. And the second one is build the maritime economic corridor to realize the integrated development of land sea economy. And the third one is promote all-round openness and cooperation and build trans-regional and cross-border industry and supply chains. And the last one is make full use of the international land sea trade corridor to build a commodity center with China-ASEAN characteristics.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So
yes.
After hearing all these, the cultural exchange, the Sichuan Guangxi cooperation, the new land sea corridor, I know the last part was a little bit hard for you guys because it's more about economy and then trade, the transportation. It's more like a literature, right?
Yeah.
But after hearing all these, what are your thoughts? Or what else do you want to know?
I don't know. For me, it's a good parent to hear this because I never know about it.
You never know about the land sea corridor?
Yeah, I know.
But have you heard about the Belt and Road Initiative?
I just know that, and my school have some relationship because we came here for a scholarship, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and our scholarship is from their parent road.
Oh, so actually
that.
you kind of benefit from this strategy because you got the scholarship and then you have this chance to study abroad.
Yeah.
And we all know that not just the Belt and Road Initiative, we know it's like a very jargon term for a strategy, but for an initiative, but actually not only the Belt and Road Initiative, but also the new land sea corridor, they actually impact all our lives, our daily lives. For example, as we mentioned before, they have this transportation hub, and then you can have products going in and going out, and maybe at a lower cost. So I just want to say, though, this part about this new land sea corridor is more like a literature thing. It's kind of tedious, but actually it affects everybody's life. And how about you? What's your thoughts?
So I think from the land sea corridor, I think it will have a very good impact between China and the trading partner countries like
Yeah, partner countries.
Because I heard that it makes the transportation cost much cheaper because it's more effective to transport the products from China to any other countries or from any other countries go into China. So I think it will have a good impact because we can get a product from any other countries in China, and also any other countries can have a product from China at much lower cost because the transportation cost is much more lower because of this land and sea corridor. Yeah, I think it's like that. It's very good.
Yeah, it's actually an opportunity for both Western China and also the ASEAN countries such as Indonesia, Vietnam to develop not only for economic trade but also for a cultural exchange. So, because you're a film major student, right?
Yeah.
I actually have a very interesting question for you, because if you're here to be the director to take a film of maybe this Land Sea corridor, what else do you want to know about?
What I want to know is actually I have no idea because it's still very new for me.
It's still very new.
It's still very new.
So maybe Mark, you should do more introductions later on to those friends here, especially because they're from Chengdu universities, right?
Yeah.
So probably we'll have more time to talk with them, talk with the university student. As we mentioned before, they also have these invented products such as the coconut lucifer noodles. They're also invented by these international students. So for them, they are also a great way for us to express our cultures and then to tell them about this new Land Sea corridor. So Mark, do you have anything else want to talk about or any thoughts?
Yes, the International Land Sea Trade Corridor and the Belt and Road Initiative. I think these terms are quite obscure for the common people, normal people. But I think we can see from our daily life that our life is better and better. We can get products from different part of countries, different regions, and at a lower price. And just as this year, since the implementation of the RCEP effective, we have already can get a much cheaper price at durian. We have imported a lot of durian from Vietnam and Thailand. So our life, I think, will be better and better. So it doesn't matter whether we understand this huge project or not, as long as all of our lives will become much better compared to the past.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mark and Professor Fu, and thank you so much for Tracy and Darren. And so this is end our live stream. So Mark, hope we'll see more Guangxi products at the Western China International Fair, maybe?
Yes,
What are your
definitely.
Yes. Okay.
And thank you for having me. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you so much. And if you want to know more about the development of Western China or more about the 19th Western China International Fair, stay tuned. Tomorrow we'll have another live stream with Yunnan province. So for Tracy and Darren, hope you enjoy your study here in China. And then feel free to travel around and go to gorgeous places in Sichuan and Guangxi. And bye, Mark. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, welcome to Guangxi. Goodbye.
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 Goodbye.